McGurr, the earlier work. So, oh, doth the fuckery proceed? It just never seems to stop, does it? You know, like lit up and like, you know. Just gotta keep dealing with it. So, I have attempted to change the format here again so we can see your comments better. And good evening, Maximo and Carlos. Good to see you guys. we were just joking because it still said 0 people in the top corner. I'm like, I sense a presence. And she said, it's probably Maximo. And I'm like, yes, it's definitely Maximo. and then, hey y'all. Like right after we got done that little back and forth, just for shits and giggles. And then Carlos popped in, and it still said 0 viewers.
Yep.
Then it said 1. Now it says 2. So it takes a while. Anyways. So I have to manually scroll until it gets to the bottom of the little given space area. Then it should automatically scroll the most recent comments. But I thought, you know, I can put that like that, and then when I'm ready to do headlines, yeah, that vaguely works remotely, kind of. Mostly. Anyways, so how you guys been doing? I'm maintaining. Not much better than that, but maybe it just knew that you were still taking a shit and you weren't watching yet, so it like hadn't shown up. Oh no, wait, that was just me that was still taking a shit. Damn it. What? Anyway, so we have some very interesting breaking news from the Trump administration, and I suppose we could go to our special correspondent for that. Sorry, Mr. Alex Jones. Alex, are you there? Oh my God! It's all Obama's fault! Ah! What, Alex? What's Obama's fault? What? Obama's fault. Did you get that? I
Purple, because aliens don't wear hats.
So what I think he's trying to say is that the Trump Russia thing is all Obama's fault. Is that correct? Oh, yes, brother! Oh, you hit the nail on it! Oh, man, I can do these things! Okay, so that I was that an agreement? That I think that was a yes. That was a yes?
I think so.
Yeah, that was a yes. Okay. So why exactly is it that it's all Obama's fault? Oh my God! The Illuminati and Obama, they attacked my flag. They attacked him? How did they attack him? They on face camera was in Obama's house. What? What? Was that an Aliens reference?
I think he is an alien.
Okay, Alex, I'm gonna give you one last try, man. Can you explain to me exactly how it's Obama's fault that the Trump Russia thing's connected? Alex? Alex, are you there, man? Oh, I couldn't do that transition quick enough. I just wanted the other face. So Alex, one last chance, man. One last chance. Can you explain to me exactly how the Trump-Russia connection is all Obama's fault? You know, man, you're beautiful and patriot for having me here and letting me explain my case. And I just want the truth to get out to the American people, because I am an American. You still didn't answer my question yet, Alex. Why is it that the Trump-Russia connection is all Mike Flynn's? I mean, Obama's fault. You know, why is the Trump-Russia connection all Obama's fault? Well, here's the one. He was the one who let my Flynn in there. He was the one who covered for it. It was all his fault. He just started our chair and made him pissing all over him. What? Wait. Okay. Aside from that little last bit, okay, I'm trying to understand. So it was Obama's fault for hiring Mike Flynn to begin with, and so like the security vetting, you know, like even though Obama fired him, and then the Trump team hired him and made him national security advisor, and you know they should have vetted him themselves, and it was pretty much widely known that the you know, the Obama administration thought Mike Flynn was quoting Russian propaganda and whatnot. And wait, Alex, are you there? Alex, we seem to have lost him. Did you get that last little bit about who peed on who? Anyways, so yes, apparently the new Shilliverse, including Trump himself, is saying that it's the Obama administration's fault for not properly vetting Mike Flynn. I had to let Alex Jones cover that one. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that, because that shit hurt my throat. G'day, Neville. Coffee and sun rising. Questions for later. Yay, questions. Maintaining. That's a good description. Alright, so now we are caught up. Oh, and look, it's scrolling. Look at that. Fancy shit. So anyways. Let me get into a couple things that I don't know if they are on the notes. Let's see, we got the American Airlines, United thing. Let me just check this whole list right here and compare them to my notes that I took while I was on the couch earlier. Yeah, so interesting thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Okay. Coincidence or not, there is a psychological effect to, you know, the first part of 911,119. Centering around American Airlines. Did I say that? Did you know what I'm talking about? Okay. American Airlines. Like, think about the implications of that, those, little bunny ears that got a bit droopy. American Airlines. American Airlines. And that was, in many respects, the end of the honeymoon. That was America waking up to a certain extent, or at least realizing how deeply it slept. I was like looking for a word like obliviously, densely, deeply. Good enough. American Airlines. And the conspiracy theories that I think were manufactured ahead of time and intentionally put there by Voldemort himself. I think they all intended to center around that. And those videos and audio clips of people saying that's not an American Airlines jet, or that is an American Airlines jet. That controversy centering around whether it is or not American. Kind of like the whole premise of the conspiracy, whether it was or not an inside job, whether it was or not an American airline. But then you got the other half. You have the 119. You have the recent attack on America. And that's what it was. Make no fucking mistake about it. There's no other way to define it. Sure as fuck wasn't an election. We have an interesting scenario playing out in this country. And do your job news reporters need to use the phrasing that applies, that will ring a bell in the minds of the experienced, of the elderly, of the mentor class of Americans. The phrase is divide and conquer. Okay? It's been implemented here. We're in many ways post-conquest now. As scary as that is, just understand that very well could be the reality. Unless he winds up in fucking jail, unless he just gets carted out of the White House in fucking cuffs very soon, it is the case that we are a post-conquest society. We are no longer a nation. We are a satellite state of the Eurasian Union. And now there's an interesting thing. And a big-ass bunny rabbit came into play. Little bunny foo-foo hopping through the cargo bay, apparently. Sitting in his carrying case and starving and of oxygen. And then along came the good reporter, and she said, "Little stupid airline, I don't want to see you." I don't know. Never mind. Sorry. I'll stop. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. Okay. One of these things has cigarettes in it. Anyway. So what was the story from earlier, dear?
Which one?
With the bunny?
Start with the bunny.
The bunny on the plane? The dead bunny?
Oh, so United Airlines apparently can't seem to stay out of trouble. They apparently there was a rabbit that set the Guinness Book of World Record for the largest rabbit in the world. And this rabbit was apparently one of the offspring and was supposedly going to be a whole hell of a lot bigger than Dad was. Went and did a vet checkup 3 days before getting on a United Airlines flight, and they get to the destination where they're going, and the rabbit is dead. And this is after the vet deemed that the rabbit was fit as a fiddle.
Now, I haven't heard of any sort of rabbit flight death syndrome. I mean, rabbits are prone to panic, and they can literally die of a heart attack.
Apparently, this was not this rabbit's first flight.
But I was just gonna say, one would think that prize competing type rabbits would be used to being transported on a regular basis and wouldn't think any old thing. So you can really kind of rule the most probable cause of death for a rabbit out. So what the fuck happened? Did it get starved of oxygen? I think that's probably the most likely scenario on an airplane, but we don't have any details. But damn, wait, what was the scorpion?
Scorpion, that was the same day the doctor got dragged off the plane. Scorpion fell in and on a guy's head. Doctor gets dragged out. A couple on their honeymoon get thrown off a plane.
Home of the buck-toothed snake. Look, see? Scorpion, rabbit. FBI investigation. He might be lagging. Yep, we've been on that page for a while now, Neville. And maybe us talking about it has made them increase the cover and make things look more grim, but it really does. It's starting to seem grim to me. It's starting to seem like we don't have much of an investigation actually happening. It's starting to seem like we are, in fact, a conquered people. America, the fallen.
Damn it, I already left one country because of this shit.
Right? Where else is there to go?
Home?
Ukraine. At least they got a pair. If nothing else, you got to respect them for that. That's all I'm saying. And if nothing else, you got to respect people who you may have questioned whether or not they were just cowards or whether or not they had principles over the past many decades. when they were being labeled by Fox News cultists as liberals. Yeah, liberals. Oh, a bad word, liberals. But the fact of the matter is, people like Keith Olbermann, Rachel Maddow, the so-called liberal media, they've shown true courage in willing to fight for this country. Whereas this whole zombie army of slaves that has been propagandized against the best interest of this nation, they either want to bend over or tuck tail and run. Keep praying, baby. Keep praying. That's what I'm doing. You know, obviously, my mom dying doesn't have me in the most optimistic of moods, but, you know, I'm not giving up. I don't give up on anything. I'm too stubborn. Anyways. So, Kira is now the fairy on my shoulder.
Makes my back hurt less than sitting in the chair for long periods of time.
Exactly. Got to do the best with what you're given, eh?
Pretty much.
And I don't know if it's comforting or disconcerting. Guess it's got to be a little bit of both. That I struggle with it too. I'm gonna make a point tomorrow or possibly tonight of looking through Obama's new speech, listening to it, trying to read into it to see if I can garner any clues from that. I'm sure the KGB is already well ahead of me on that. I'm kind of hoping for a file to be turned in before I add my 2 cents. Attrition, you know, it's been a value before on the regular videos, but now I'm looking 28 minutes into this broadcast. I probably said that shit too early into this one. Anyways. So, United Airlines. Interesting keyword, isn't it? United. What we've gone under is divide and conquer. It's a long time historical effort that can be deciphered. You can figure out. You can correlate. You can prove, as it were, that this has been going on a very long time. You can even prove to quite a great extent that this has a lot to do with, I'm sure, what, secular historians would refer to as the occult. It has a lot to do with people that at least think they belong to other older races than mankind. And once you become familiar with the observable details of that reality, there are correlatable, provable, supernatural events surrounding the greater plot. including the ones, you know, on this channel related to the ancient deity that they call Mother. Anyways. Oh, she looks just like me! Okay. Sorry. Oh, yeah. So, let me get up here. And I definitely agree with you there, Neville. Unless they actually do something about this, it will just happen again. I mean, you know, like, they have to realize it on the terms that I'm talking about. If they don't do anything about it, if they don't, if the jumpsuit doesn't match the clothes soon, okay, we are a conquered people. We are a slave state. I mean, we are no more. Anything else is just a fucking self-delusion. So anyways. Alright, so let's get into the headlines. And let's see what that said. Yeah. I mean, they'll have to be more specific than that. But they're going to have to refer to the Horde as a cult. The same way the Horde refers to the Freemasons as a cult. Okay? Tit for tat. It's just that simple. I don't know why that hadn't occurred to anybody yet. It's like really not that hard or taboo. They seem to, you know, on some ways it's to be grim, right? But in some ways it seems to almost be incrementally easing us into the idea. Or some people seem to be trying to incrementally ease us into the idea. But anyways, so this whole ordeal, you know, with United Airlines, they seem to be being targeted. I mean, it's just happening with too great a frequency. And I get more the psychological effect of simply making us think United is no more. Like, was it really American? Okay. Now it's making us think, fuck United. Fuck United. United we stand, divided we fall. And in a time of divide and conquer, we are being psychosomatically triggered to register United bad. Ain't that a bitch? It's not coincidence. Understand how fucking clever that is. Understand how brilliant that is. It's unfucking believably clever. It's unfucking believably sinister. I mean, bravo. It's fucking brilliant. But, you know, as clever as they can be, their old demon overlords don't shepherd them in the right direction the way they used to. Their emotions, their egos get the better of them. And Trump's ego is still getting the better of him on a regular basis. Sitting there blaming the Michael Flynn thing on the Obama administration. And then blaming healthcare on the Democrats. Yeah, blaming not wanting to repeal Obamacare on the Democrat, because that's something that was on their agenda, was repealing Obamacare. They keep making obvious strategic blunders. And to your point, Neville, it does seem irrational that they're allowed to get away with these blunders over and over again. It seems like they're being babied to a certain extent. But is it a matter of keeping them rolling, keeping them heading towards the cliff? Or are we just fucking scared stupid? Are we in panic mode? Is there a fear of mass assassination? I bet you it had to be in the back of everyone's mind yesterday when they had them 50 senators all meeting at the White House. What about that on the inside that we didn't hear about might have subtly reminded them of the power that he has that has nothing to do with us, that has nothing to do with our government by the people and for the people. He can at any time rely on tourists to maintain power here. Understand that. Now, are they babying him because the investigation must proceed without him having a clue? Or are they babying him because he has them outmanned, because he has them out budgeted? Who do you think has the bigger budget? The FBI task force that specifically focuses on Trump, Russia, or Russian infiltration into America in general, okay? Or the combined power of the Trump organization and the FSB? Who do you think is more powerful? Who do you think has a bigger budget? Who do you think has more money, more manpower? It's not even fucking close. That's the American delusion, keeping everyone feeling safe for no fucking reason. It's pretty fucking scary, isn't it? When you think about that, think about the Trump organization combined with the FSB. Who's more powerful? Us or them? It's fucking terrifying. And now, Russia killed one of our presidents. I firmly believe that now. I firmly believe that JFK was assassinated on the order of... Okay. And our Russian fucking puppet is going to be the one to decide whether or not the scheduled release of the JFK file pertaining to the classified investigation of Lee Harvey Oswald before the assassination will proceed as planned on October 2017. October 2017. Yeah. 2017. Yes, the 2017 day of October. Makes perfect sense. The fairy on my shoulder's laughing. Little.
Okay, hold on.
Oh.
Fire working.
So, yeah, long month. Kind of like this past one, huh? Seems like there's been 2017 days in April. It's still April, isn't it? Right? Yeah, it feels like there's been, and about 5,000 of those 2,000 days were this week. Okay. I'm 5 years old and I know fraction. Okay. That was in place of something actually funny to say. And bizarre amount of computer lag. Especially considering that I actually cut down the freaking resolution on this camera, so it should be like half the data. No. Just randomly fucking glitches still again. Overall, it does seem like I'm a little more fluid. It used to be a little more glitchy than that. Like even on my little screen here. Now it's like it's mostly fluid, but just occasionally when it hiccups. So I hiccup while I fake the hiccup. Anyway. Wait, Neville, you're in the future? Oh, yes, that's right. Everyone in Australia is from the future.
Don't tell me what happens. I want to be surprised.
I keep trying to think of something funny to say, but then you're cut off. All right. So while we're waiting for Maximo to type the rest of his not funny thought. Yes. Fucking North Korea briefing. What a joke. Like, okay. It seems like the two most obvious things about it, the two most obvious reasons why it happened haven't really been mentioned, and whether or not people or whether or not they just don't want to make baseless allegations, but fuckery.
Yay, fuckery.
Butt fuckery. Oh, you should have seen that coming. Butt fuckery.
Butt fuckery.
Anyway.
Speaking of North Korea.
Same butt upside down. Oh, okay. This has devolved quite considerably. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can get back to my point and finish. I'll lay like towards the camera and not have like your legs behind my head. Maybe that's kind of awkward.
Can you see my legs behind your head?
They're coming out of my head right now.
They're coming out of your head?
I mean, Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. Let me do. Yeah, the fairy on my shoulder thing is okay because it's like, at least you can't really tell what the fuck's going on there. But if somebody just sees you laying down, like, slacking on the job much, it's like, really, like,
Really?
we're broadcasting here. We're on fake TV. This is important.
I'm fake laying down.
You're fake laying down. Yeah.
Alternative
now,
facts.
now you're fake laying down before, now you're just like a head and arms floating in the darkness.
So taking the head and one arm, other one's hidden.
She's like the devil on my shoulder, or the angel. I'm not really sure.
Wouldn't you like to know?
His boomerang falls up. I never had that problem with my boomerang when I lived in Australia. And I used to throw that motherfucker a lot, too. Didn't work very well, but I started to modify it and make it work better based on what I saw on TV. Anyways. And then a couple years after I got to America, they came out with them fucking goofy-ass plastic ones that worked like 10 times better, and that pissed me off. Like, I spent all that time sitting there whittling away at that one with the emu burning the side of it. Or the kangaroo. Forgot which one. I had one with the emu, one with the kangaroo. Whittled one, I didn't whittle the other. Anyways, that's a stupid, boring story. I'm gonna shut up now. Boxes or briefs? Was it about intimidation? Was it about distraction? The North Korea briefing. Was it all just to distract from, the epic saga of the cell phone strangler? Huh? Was it all just because the Mike Flynn shit got so heated up that it was just hypnotizing everyone? So there had to be this big fucking staged event where everybody gathered around in the White House. Oh, you can't even see that one. Alright, let me do my new dragging thing. Can I drag it? No, I can't drag it. Alright, to the top. Think it looked like that, though? You think maybe Trump had like a big old roulette wheel set up in the White House? Oh, look, it's the senators meeting with Donald Trump at the White House. This is a briefing. That's what it was. It was a briefing. You don't think he said anything to intimidate them? You don't think he said anything to be like, implying that if he winds up a wartime president, they better support him, kind of thing? You don't think that egotistical motherfucker said anything along those lines? Nothing boxy about it? All briefs, huh? Well, at the very least, it was just a big staged fucking phony thing to distract from the fact that everything about Michael Flynn proves Donald Trump is a traitor. He appointed a fucking foreign agent as his national security chief. Okay? He appointed a guy who got the fucking Medal of Freedom from Putin as the Secretary of State. Are you fucking kidding me? And speaking of emoluments clause violations, which Michael Flynn is now being investigated for, wouldn't the ExxonMobil deal that earned Mr. Tillerson the Medal of Freedom qualify as a fucking emolument? $500 billion of emolument?
Right.
An emolument which, like the others, has usurped American democracy, has usurped our foreign policy. You basically have two choices. Anyone in America that's listening to me right now, you have two choices. You listen to me, or you're not free. Okay? That's why I said this is how it would be when I came back. Here I am, and here we are, not listening to me and becoming fucking slaves, becoming conquered people. But, me asking for help to pay my bills is too much to ask. Nice. Meanwhile, Trump sent a one-page tax plan that's going to cut the corporate tax rate from 35 to 15%. And all the rich people are just going to be able to hoard their fucking money without having to provide any jobs. And it'll be the Bush stagnation all over again. Prices are going to go up. All the prices that went up before that didn't go back down, they're going to go up higher. All the prices that went up and then went down under Obama, they're going to go back up to where they were. Probably even higher than that. Just wait. It's not as though anything the Republicans ever do makes any sense. They do nothing to unite this country. They seem to have some sort of agenda. Okay, I mean, sure, there are Christians who wind up Republicans, who wind up, embracing real conservative ideals. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the ones that are propagandized into anarchy. They're basically anarchists. They're anti-government people being elected to run the government. What is it about these people that makes them act this way?
I have a funny about Trump.
A Trump funny, huh?
So apparently, the Department of Homeland Security now has a call center, right? Who the sole purpose of it basically is to route people who are here illegally.
Oh,
It was set up for victims of crimes, quote unquote, committed by removable criminal aliens. So, would you like to know what people have taken and done? My people have taken up arms and have trolled the lines with calls about aliens and UFOs.
That sounds fun.
Right? So, yeah. I thought that was a little entertaining.
General fuckery. So anyways, and speaking of back in your old country, a similar thing but what happened to Yugoslavia seems to be happening in Macedonia.
Seems to be. No, it is. It is.
And today, the pushback, that is the non-Albanians, raided the, they call it the parliament?
Over 200 protesters.
Over 200 people
raided the parliament.
Went in there and beat the crap out of all kinds of representatives and stuff because they put one of the minority. No, there were several assaulted. There was a lady and two guys I saw just on the video.
They were going after one man.
But they were going after this guy because he appointed this Albanian who's in the minority. Okay, they have like a pretty strict minority amount of representatives in Parliament, and this guy appointed one of those Albanians to be the Speaker of the House or whatever.
Apparently,
And
this guy
apparently
is
that
trying
didn't
to
go over well.
unify Macedonians and Albanians, and Macedonians. Okay, not to sound like a racist fuck here. Okay, but like, they're seeing what Yugoslavians saw back in the day.
Right.
The Albanians are starting to come in. They're wanting all these rights. They're wanting to take over, and next thing you know, you've got a bunch of Muslim Albanians running your country. And it's the same thing. And
Albanians have no right to be in fucking Europe to begin with.
Macedonia used to be part of Yugoslavia. It's one of the 7 countries now.
They're fake refugees. Albania, I mean, I hate sounding like a fucking asshole, but they don't have the right to be in Europe. They are a fake refugee state put there for the sole purpose of conquest. Okay? And they should not be allowed anywhere beyond Albania. They should not be allowed to continue to conquer.
And this is
under the same false pretext, oh, woe is me, human rights bullshit pattern. Okay?
And it's exactly what happened in Yugoslavia all over again. It was the same thing. Them screaming for human rights. We need this. We need that. We don't have enough representation in another country that's not even ours. Blah, blah, blah. And in turn, you caused a massive fucking civil war and caused a country to break up into 7 fucking countries.
Yeah, and they've only been doing that shit for fucking 400 years,
It's a sore spot for me. My country I came from used to be beautiful, and is not anymore. When my aunt comes back from a funeral in 2003 and shows me pictures that looks like the end scene from Mars Attacks, I mean, fuck.
It's like, personally, myself, I know with every fiber of my being, I'm not racist. Okay? And I can prove it to you with the same logic that I prove it to myself. Because I'm marveling right now at how Trump and Trump supporters seem to have an aversion to Mexicans. And that's fucking ridiculous. I love Mexicans. Like
they got good food.
Just, Latino people in general. I grew up in Houston, okay? They're cool fucking people, man. And there's no agenda of conquest there. Like, they breed a lot because they party a lot. Like, if you could dance like that, you'd probably be making more babies too. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all Albanians are bad. I've had Albanian friends before, but I mean, you can't necessarily choose your origins and your history and
Right.
who your parents are, but all this shit has happened before and it's fucking happening again, and you know what? It's been 20 years.
Yeah, and everybody's got to realize the responsibility of their heritage, okay? Like, I'm mostly German. I don't go out of my way to point out, like, things about Jews, like, if you're an Albanian, you should be wary of the whole migrating as a form of conquest thing, but they're not, because it would take the truth to keep people free.
And like, I hate to like make the points that I do, but it's like, I mean, it's fact. I hate to be that person. But
right. There's a lot of annoying realities about history that people who get labeled as liberals need to have the balls to deal with, to have the courage to face and try to sit through in a historical context that applies wisdom to compassion. Okay, you can't just, paint things as black and white and be like, oh, we need to be absolutely caving to their demands as soon as they say the words human rights, because the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of other fucking places that they could go, but there was a 1,000-year agenda to conquer Europe, and that's where they went. Okay, and the same thing should be said to what? Huh. Funny. What was I just saying?
I'm just irritated that fucking YouTube is using our shit when we're talking about
Right.
this.
What was I just saying?
Conquest, Mexicans,
the people in, okay, and it's, before I go into that, it's one of them things that you're kind of forced to analyze on the level of, shouldn't they know that? Okay. And if they know that and they're doing it anyway, then are we right about our fears about it? Okay. And it's the thing where, in, the African migrations to Europe, the constant migrations posing as Syrians coming from Iraq and Dagestan and Afghanistan and Uzbekistan. Remember that these are all not just Muslim states, they're post-Soviet states, okay? This is a post-horde effort. It's not just limited to a religion, That's just a use of an ideology for a means. They should fucking know better. They should know that, there's been this history of massive migrant conquests. And, we're presented in this country as this absolute black and white, worldwide, white imperialist versus all the poor, innocent minorities. Well, that's just not been the case in reality. That's just not been the case in history. White people, also known as, the sons of Jacob, and the other tribes that unified with Israel over the generations, they were slaves too. And since they were no longer slaves, ever since then, shit hasn't entirely gone well. And the idea of them dominating the world, simply because there was one point where they stopped being conquered and started trying to prosper themselves into security. Now we call it colonialism. Okay. What it was pushback from horde conquest. What it was a combination of revenge, PTSD, and propaganda. Tainting the overall effort of people just to make their lives better. That's what, the so-called imperial trade was about. Because when you're dealing, in a capitalistic society, which the West always tried to be, versus command economies that have massive imperial organization that have been dead set for centuries on destroying you, fuck. You got your work cut out for you, that's all I'm saying. dominant imperialist ruling. That's not something Europe ever really was. But they get propagandized into this ideology, and they have no remorse for wanting to go there and breed them out. And that's what they want to do in Europe. That's what they want to do. That's what they teach them in their Hezbollah and Hamas schools and shit. Anyways. So, speaking of all such connections, I wanted to do just a technological analysis that kind of proves places like, let's see, there was a list of places that were supposedly supplied by North Korea. They weren't fucking supplied by North Korea. Libya, Sudan, Iran, all the charming places. See, the thing is, for instance, whenever, excuse me, oh damn, whenever they cough up hairballs in the middle of a statement, no, whenever they talk about Korean missiles, Korean negotiations, or whatever, they always say he has to stop testing missiles. You notice that? That's always the word that they use. They never say stop developing. They never say stop manufacturing. They only say testing. Now, as civilians in such scenarios, we often get shown photos or maybe even sometimes on the ground videos of what looks like some sort of machine shop, and we're told it's a manufacturing facility. Well, I just wanted to point out that there's quite a difference between a machine shop, which can repair metal machinery, which can one-off replaceable wearable parts through very time-intensive effort. Okay, it's called machining. That's what they refer to when they say a machine shop. It's generally a machine that spins while cutting metal into a certain shape. And then there's many other processes they can go through, including water knifing. Well, that type of facility is different from a metal casting and metallurgic and manufacturing facility. And the level of footprint involved in one versus the other, the difference is enormous. You're talking about something that's the size of a small building, the size of a gas station repair shop, versus something the size of a metro complex. Okay, a actual steel production plant. There's a great difference between these two types of facilities. Places like Iraq, Iran to a certain extent, only recently have they really gotten more manufacturing level facilities. North Korea, how would they have gotten onto that level? They don't seem to be at that level. It seems like their equipment is imported when it comes to things that are done at that level. They seem to have these areas besides, like, Russia, Germany, France, the United States, China, Japan, South Korea, places with automobile manufacturing. That's key. Places with automobile manufacturing can do these kinds of things. They can manufacture weaponry. Okay. Places that buy cars from other countries, they have machine shops. They can they can make at a slow rate of production repair parts for the wearable items on these things. And to some extent, they still don't. To some extent, these things are centralized and, like made in Saudi Arabia and then shipped out to the Middle East. And there's, Russian parts companies because, like, it's really hard to even get one of these types of facilities built, even as, a nation, because they're that expensive. It takes usually a very large corporation that has a profitable business model to justify the expense of these kinds of things. Or Russia. Where, do it or we'll kill your whole fucking family.
Which is pretty much also the North Korean mentality.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you hear about their propaganda video they just released yesterday? Today?
One sec, just want to read Maxo's comment. Outbreeding, the means by which they propagandize youth to say that they will, have revenge on the colonial crusaders and whatnot. It's all lies. Just disproportionate fucking blanket lies about history. They promote hatred towards our civilized values with the with whiteness or politeness, I guess, attacked as weakness. Yeah. And it's not all Muslims. My Muslim friends, okay, they I'm not like in regular contact with them anymore. I'm talking about my people from New Orleans. Those guys have nothing to do with this shit. They say they're Muslims because their family's Muslims. And their family, they don't have a fucking clue about this shit either. They're Muslims because their family before them was Muslims.
That's why I truly believe that there is a difference between Muslim and Islam.
Yeah, Muslim and Islamic. Like, white, not Hispanic.
Right.
Muslim, not Islamic. Fill it out on the fucking form. Anyways.
So North Korea released a video, I guess technically it would be yesterday at this point, of a simulated attack on the White House.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently the last time I think they did that was in 2013.
Yeah,
or something like
okay,
that.
yeah.
But they got a brand new one.
Another one, huh?
And he's saying, "Behold, your enemy is before you," and then the White House and some aircraft carriers blow up or some shit like that. Isn't that nice? Which is really odd that I stumbled across that article about Baba Vanga with all this shit going on. It's just ironic timing.
At this point, I think what Putin is waiting on, the only thing Putin is waiting on, is for a consolidation of power in South America. Because when you combine, like, if it came down to it, I think the Russians could trick the Chinese into joining in a war with them. Obviously, North Korea is going to go into war. Probably going to be central to the starting of the whole thing and then drawing in China on their side. That's 3 million right there. Plus, 3 million plus versus our 1 million. If you combine the former communist and Putin dominated countries in South America, you could add another 1 million to that. At least another 500,000 to that. Wow. You know, just wow. How easy would it be? You know, and God forbid they actually do a full form of conscription in Russia. God forbid they actually let loose the Islamic horde in a real way instead of with the false migration waves. I mean, as many came with those waves, imagine what would happen if the real shit started at this point. Now, imagine what would happen if they consolidated power in South America. Where would we send troops from while we defended? Well, we'd probably have to send troops into Mexico to defend it, unless they turned against us because a certain person that they don't really get along with. Funny how that works. It's all like it was a big divide and conquer plan or something.
Who'd thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? So, Patagonia. Interesting, isn't it? I forgot about that place. Is that in Utah?
Mm.
I believe it's in Utah. It's a federal land that Obama, during the last couple of weeks of his presidency, deemed to be a national monument. And Obama and, well, the whole Breitbart organization has been criticizing this and propagandizing people against this, basically, saying that these are some sort of aloof brushing of a pen type liberal agenda things that are to save this and that little stupid animal here and there, when every single instance of this is local people who have been petitioning the government for a very long time to have their local place that they love and want protected named as a national monument so it can be protected. And Trump's calling it all under review and may eliminate the national monument status of, and you should Google it, Patagonia. Beautiful, beautiful rock formations like you wouldn't believe. Anyways. Not just a Muslim thing. Most people are innocent, just get targeted and hurted based on their culture across the cultural spectrum. It's frightening to watch the social cohesion slowly fall apart. Yes, sir. And on that bombshell, I suppose it's time to call it a broadcast. Broadcast!
Broadcast.
Okay. There. We have called it a broadcast. And thanks for the growing number of people who are just joining us now that we're finally ending the broadcast. Please do back it up, back that thing up, and well, no, just move the slider to the left and watch the video over again. There's really no music that you could back that thing up to. Like, if you use Sunshine in the Rain, you just look like you were like drunk country dancing. So
White girl dance. Itch. White girl dance.
Maybe you were feeling grizzly bearish.
Yeah,
feeling grizzly bearish. Backing that thing up to Sunshine in the Rain at this tempo right here. Look like you're scratching up against a tree. Anyways, Maximo has called it a broadcast. Anybody else want to call it a broadcast? Broadcast!
Broadcast! podcast.
Fucking stupid.
It's late.
Anyways. So thanks for watching, y'all. Thanks for your support and contributions. We definitely appreciate the help. You know, because this is my job now. And YouTube no longer pays me for it. So it's up to y'all guys. And I have to say thank you at the end of every video. Like even on, you know, we don't even get contributions every day. I'm still saying thank you. So solve a riddle, support a channel. I might redo the riddle soon. The found abandoned at how a wicked mother tells her pale pals. It wasn't a girl. Gee, male. Anyways, please subscribe. Please check your subscription if you are a subscriber. The fuckery causes the subscription to drop from time to time. And, you know, that sucks.
And thank you, Maximo, for contributing your stupidity to ours
Yes.
on a daily basis.
Thank you for your comments and questions. Patagonia is also the south of Argentina, Chile. See, that's probably the Patagonia that I was thinking of, because I felt a little confused when I heard about that. Anyways, thanks, Maximo.
That was
And
Carlos.
thanks as always. I mean, Carlos. I saw it right there. I thought Carlos and the word Maximo fell out of my face.
See that, Maximo?
Anyways.
Maximo, you're falling out of Sean's face.
Like a blackhead. It's the only thing that really falls out of my face lately. I'm not losing any beard hairs that I know of.
No, they're just getting
So
nice
anyways,
today.
click thumbs up button, y'all. Like and subscribe and whatnot. Did I just do a Donald Trump impression? Or is that an insensitive thing? I think it's me just comparing myself to somebody. I'm being moron. Making fun of myself. Just a force of habit. I've been doing this shit since I was 8 years old. Horrible, isn't it? Must be a southern thing. Bye. Scratching all the trees.
It's in my heart, and baby, down in my soul. You, baby, you can't take it no more. No, I know I'm walking out that door. The way it's treated me.